Hello everyone. Today we will discuss in detail about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So let's discuss the classification of microorganism, how it is divided into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So you have a topic in your unit 2, that is classification of microorganisms. So microorganisms, they are classified into six different ways. So you have a very great diversity among microorganisms. They have their unique features. Based on their features and their characteristics, it has been divided into viruses, bacteria, algae, fungi and protozoa. So the classification of microorganism, it is called as microbial taxonomy. So simply it is called as taxonomy. So they are classified into the following ways. So based on plants or animals, it has been classified. Based on their cellularity, it is classified into unicellular and multicellular. Based on the type of nuclear material, it has been classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And you have five kingdom concept, eight kingdom concept, and three domain system. So among this, five kingdom concept was it was accepted. It was done by R.H. Whitaker. You have a separate topic for in your unit, five kingdom concept, which is very important question. So based on the classification of based on plants and animals, microbes has been classified into Plantae and Animalia. It was done by Aristotle in 4th century BC. So kingdom Plantae includes algae, fungi, bacteria and other plants. Kingdom Animalia includes all animals including protozoa. So let's see, based on cellularity, it is classified into three types, that is non-cellular, that is no cells, unicellular, single cell, multicellular, multiple cells. So non-cellular microbes have no cells. For example, viruses, they are only living chemicals. So unicellular microorganisms, they have only one cells, that is single cells. Example is protozoa, bacteria, some algae and some fungi. So multicellular microbes have many cells. Example, fungi and algae. So based on the nature of their nuclear materials, it is classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So let's discuss what is prokaryotes. So prokaryotes, the prokaryote, it is simply the organisms which do not contain a nucleus is called as prokaryotes. Eukaryotes, eukaryotes organisms which contain a true nucleus is called as eukaryotes. So in prokaryotes, the nuclear materials remain scattered in the cytoplasm. So there is no nuclear membrane present. So the nuclear material, it is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane, which is called as nucleoid or incipient nucleus. So it is simply called as nucleoid. The cell which contains a nucleoid is called as a prokaryotic cell. I'll tell you once again. The organisms which do not contain a nucleus is called as prokaryotes. So the nuclear material, it is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. It is called as nucleoid. The cell which contains a nucleoid is called as prokaryotic cell. So in prokaryotic cell, the ribosome is 70S. The chromosome is circular in shape. Cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi body, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, and centrioles are absent. Which example is bacteria. For prokaryotes, example is bacteria. So the chromosome is circular in shape. The cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi body, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, centrioles are absent. So example is bacteria. So let's talk about eukaryotes. The organisms which contain the true nucleus is called as eukaryotes. The nuclear material, it is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. So the major difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is membrane bound. So eukaryotes is membrane bound and prokaryotes that doesn't contain a membrane bound. The cell containing a nucleus is called as eukaryotic cell. In prokaryote, the cell containing a nucleoid is called as prokaryotic cell, but in eukaryote, the cell containing a nucleus is called as eukaryotic cell. So in eukaryotic cell, the ribosome is ATS. The chromosome is not circular in shape. Cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi body, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, and centrioles are present. So example is protozoa, algae, fungi, and all animals. So let's discuss in detail about prokaryotes and eukaryotes now. It is very important, 10 marks for you. So you will get, definitely you will get difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So in prokaryote, now we will discuss about the prokaryotic cells, the notes which I have given you. I'll read it. So that in prokaryotes, the nuclear material, it is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. The nuclear material without a nuclear membrane is called as nucleoid. It contains a singular chromosome formed of double-stranded DNA. So in chromosome, it is circular in shape and it has double-stranded DNA. The cells of bacteria and blue-green algae are prokaryotes. So what is prokaryotes? They are primitive cells, that is initial cells. Pro means first or before. Karyote is nothing but nucleus. Karyote is also called as nut, N-U-T, nut. So nut, how it looks like, it is like a round in shape. So it is also called as nut, and in scientifically it is called as nucleus. In all prokaryotic cells, the plasma membrane is surrounded by a cell wall. So the cell wall is composed of amino acid and muramic acid. And the cell is filled with cytoplasm. The cytoplasm does not exhibit streaming movement. So streaming movement is nothing but it is also called as cytoplasmic streaming. It is the movement of cytoplasm within a cell. So in prokaryote, the cytoplasm does not exhibit streaming movement. So what is streaming movement? It is also called as cytoplasmic streaming. So it is the movement of cytoplasm within a cell. So it helps in transportation of nutrients or organelles inside the cells. So prokaryote does not have membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi body, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, and vacuoles. So it contains ribosome. There are some TS, as I told you earlier. They contain a chlorophyll A in blue-green algae and bacteriochlorophyll in bacteria. So the nucleolus is absent from prokaryotic cells. In prokaryotes, the genetic material is DNA. So this is the prokaryotic cell. So plasma membrane, you have nucleoid and cytoplasm. Inside the nucleoid you have a DNA, double-stranded DNA. So now let's talk about the structure and functions of prokaryotic cells. So plasma membrane. So what is a plasma membrane? It is a selectively permeable barrier. So what do you mean by selectively permeable? So it is a barrier, it is a membrane that will allow certain molecules or ion to pass through it by diffusion. So it's a plasma membrane, it is a selective permeable barrier. It is a membrane that will allow certain molecules or ions to pass through it by diffusion. It is the mechanical boundary of cell. So what is mechanical boundary? It is external boundary of a cell which regulates the flow of materials into and out of the cell. Mechanical boundary of cell, it is an external boundary of cell which regulates the flow of materials into and out of the cell. And it is a function is nutrients and waste transport. The function of plasma membrane, it is the location of many metabolic processes like respiration and photosynthesis. And you have vacuoles which helps for floating in aquatic environment. Ribosomes, it helps in the function of protein synthesis. The protein synthesis, it is a biological process which occurs inside cells, and it helps in balancing the loss of cellular proteins through the production of new proteins. So it is a biological process which occurs inside the cells which helps in balancing the loss of cellular proteins through the production of new proteins. So nucleoid, it is the location of genetic material, that is double-stranded DNA, and you have inclusions, that is the storage of certain phosphate and other substances. And you have periplasmic space. So in bacteria itself we have two types, that is gram positive and gram negative bacteria. We will discuss later. So in gram-negative bacteria, it contains hydrolytic enzymes and binding protein for nutrients processing. So periplasmic space, it contains enzymes which helps in binding proteins and for nutrients processing. We have cell wall, which provides shapes and prevents the cell from osmotic stress. So what is osmotic stress? It is a physiological dysfunction caused by a sudden change in the solute concentration around a cell, which causes a rapid change in the movement of water across its cell membrane. So cell wall, it provides shape and prevents the cell from osmotic stress. So osmotic stress is nothing but sudden change in the solute concentration around a cell, which causes the rapid change in the movement of water across its cell membrane. And you have capsules and slimy layer, which helps in the resistance to phagocytosis and adherence to surfaces, survival under harsh environmental conditions. So capsules and slimy layer, it helps in the resistance to phagocytosis. So phagocytosis is nothing but it is the ingestion of bacteria by phagocytes. So capsule helps in the uh, resistant to phagocytosis, which is the ingestion of bacteria by phagocytes, and it also helps in the slimy layer. It also helps in adherence to surfaces, and it also helps in survival under harsh environmental conditions. And you have fimbriae and pili, which helps in attachment to surfaces, bacterial conjugation and transformation, pitching motility and gliding motility. So fimbriae and pili, it helps in attachment to surfaces and bacterial conjugation. What is conjugation? It is the transfer of genetic material between bacterial cells. So it helps in bacterial conjugation, that is the transfer of genetic material between the bacterial cells and transformation. And twitching motility and gliding motility. Motility is nothing but the movement of the bacteria, movement of a cell. So there are two types of motility, which is twitching and gliding. So I have to show you in like animation how the movement is. So as of now, you just know that it exhibits twitching motility and gliding motility. And you have cytoplasm. It is a fluid component inside the plasma membrane, contains mostly water with organic and inorganic molecules like DNA and ribosomes. So this is the prokaryotes structure and functions. So what is prokaryote? You might get in 2 marks. What is prokaryotes and eukaryotes? You might get in 2 marks. What is the function of plasma membrane? What is the function of fimbriae and pili? What is the function of capsules? You might get it. So you have to write it in 2 marks. And when you write, you have to elaborate and write. Like you have to write about prokaryotes as well, and then write about either fimbriae or pili, whatever the question is. So I'll just repeat what is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The prokaryotes is nothing but the organisms which do not contain a nucleus is called as prokaryotes. The nuclear material, it is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane, which is called as nucleoid. The cell containing a nucleoid is called as prokaryotic cell. So the ribosome is 70S. The chromosome is circular in shape. Cell organelles are absent. Example is bacteria. In eukaryotes, the organism which contain a true nucleus is called as eukaryotes. The nuclear material, it is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. The cell containing a nucleus is called as eukaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, the ribosome is 80S. The chromosome, it is not circular in shape. Cell organelles are present. Example is protozoa, algae, fungi, and all animals. Now let's discuss about eukaryotes. The cells which contain a true nucleus is called as eukaryotic cells. U means true, karyote is nucleus. The eukaryotic cell has a definite cytoplasm and a nucleus. It is surrounded by a nuclear membrane which separates nuclear material from the cytoplasm. The cells of algae, fungi, bryophytes, vascular plants, protozoa, and all animals are eukaryotic cells. The eukaryotic cells, they are larger in size. Each cell is surrounded by a plasma membrane. So the plant cell, there is a cell wall around the plasma membrane. The cell wall contains cellulose, a chemical called cellulose, and a polysaccharide. The cell wall is filled with a jelly-like fluid called cytoplasm. The cytoplasm, it is in constant movement called cytoplasmic streaming. As I told you earlier, cytoplasmic streaming, it exhibits. So in prokaryote does not exhibit streaming movement. So in eukaryotes it exhibits streaming movement. That is, it is also called as cytoplasmic streaming. It is the movement of cytoplasm within a cell. It helps in transportation of organelles and nutrients. In eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, plastids, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, vacuoles, and centrioles. The photosynthetic apparatus is in the form of plastids. They contain chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Some eukaryotic cells contain well-defined nucleus. This nucleus is filled with nucleoplasm and chromosomes. It is bounded by a nuclear membrane. The nucleus of eukaryotic cells contains thread-like structures called chromosomes. The chromosomes are composed of DNA and basic proteins called histones. The chromosome. It has DNA and histones. This is the structure of eukaryotic cells. You have plasma membrane, nucleus, nuclear membrane, chromatin, and cytoplasm. Now let's discuss about the structure and functions of eukaryotic cells. The plasma membrane, it is a mechanical cell boundary. Helps in selectively permeable barrier with transport system, cell-to-cell interactions, adhesions to surfaces, signal transduction. So I have mechanical cell boundary. I told you earlier. So mechanical cell boundary, it is the external boundary of a cell which regulates the flow of materials into and out of the cell. Selectively permeable barrier which allows certain molecules or ions to pass through it by diffusion. It helps in cell-to-cell interaction and adhesion to surfaces, that is attachment to surfaces, and signal transduction. Cytoplasm, it is an environment for other organelles, location of many metabolic processes. We have microfilaments and microtubules which helps in cell structure and movements from the cell structures and movements from the cytoskeleton. We have endoplasmic reticulum which helps in transport of materials and lipid synthesis. We have ribosomes which helps in protein synthesis. Golgi apparatus, it helps in packaging and secretion of materials for various purposes, and lysosome formation. Lysosomes, it helps in digestion of intracellular materials. Mitochondria, it is the energy produced through the use of TCA cycle. The function is mitochondria helps in the energy produced through the use of TCA cycle, electron transport, oxidative phosphorylation, and other pathways. The mitochondria, it helps in different functions, which is electron transport, oxidative phosphorylation, and other pathways. Chloroplasm, it helps in photosynthesis, helps in trapping light energy and formation of carbohydrates from carbon dioxide and water. Nucleus, it helps in the respiratory for genetic information. DNA contains genetic information. Nucleolus, it helps in ribosomal RNA synthesis and ribosomal construction. Cell wall and pellicle, it gives strength and it gives shape to the cells. Cilia and flagella, it helps in cell movement. Vacuoles, it is the temporary storage and transport, digestion. Vacuoles helps in temporary storage and transport, helps in digestion, that is food vacuoles, it helps in food digestion, and water balance, that is contractile vacuole helps in water balance. Then you have centrioles, which helps in cell division. So eukaryotes, uh, so it is a cell which contains a true nucleus. It's called as eukaryotic cells, and it has in eukaryotic cell the ribosome is ATS. The cell containing nucleus is called an eukaryotic cell. The nuclear material is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. It has the cell organelles are present. Example is protozoa, algae, fungi, and all animals. You have structure here. You have, what are the structures? You have plasma membrane, cytoplasm, microfilaments and microtubules, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, chloroplasm, nucleus, nucleolus, cell wall and pellicle. You have cilia and flagella, vacuoles and centrioles. Now let's discuss the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So size is in prokaryotic cell, the size of the bacteria is small, which is 1 to 10 micromillimeter. In eukaryotic cell, it is large, that is 10 to 100 micrometer. Plasma membrane is present in both the cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Mesosome is present in prokaryotic cell and absent in eukaryotic cells. So cell wall, it is present, which is composed of amino sugar and muramic acid. In eukaryotic cell, it is cell wall is present. In plant cell, which is composed of cellulose. So cell wall in prokaryotic cell, it is composed of amino sugar and muramic acid. In eukaryotic cell, in plant cell, it is composed of cellulose. So in cytoplasm, prokaryotic cells, it exhibits no streaming movement. In eukaryotic cell, it exhibits streaming movement. Mitochondria is absent in prokaryotic cell. It is present in eukaryotic cells. Golgi body, it is absent in prokaryotic cells, present in eukaryotic cells. Lysosomes is absent in prokaryotic cells. It is present in eukaryotic cells. Endoplasmic reticulum, it is absent in prokaryotic cells and it is present in eukaryotic cells. Vacuoles is absent and it is present in eukaryotic cells. Ribosomes, it is small and it is circular, that is it is 70S in prokaryotic cells, and it is large and it is 80S, and it is not circular in shape. Photosynthetic apparatus, it is in the form of membrane with chlorophyll A in blue-green algae and bacteriochlorophyll in bacteria, and it is chloroplast with chlorophyll A and B in plant cells. So nucleus is absent in prokaryotic cells and present in eukaryotic cells. Nucleoid is present in prokaryotic cell and it is absent in eukaryotic cells. Nuclear membrane is absent and it is present in eukaryotic cells. Nucleoplasm is absent and it is present in eukaryotic cells. Chromosome, it is circular, it contains only one DNA and no proteins. And in eukaryotes, you have thread-like structure, and it is more than one. DNA is more than one, and it contains a protein called histones. Genetic material is DNA in both the cells. DNA, it is circular in prokaryotes, linear in eukaryotes. Flagella, it is present in some forms but do not have 9+2 fibrillar protein. In eukaryote, it is present in some species. They have 9+2 fibrillar structure. Flagella is nothing but a whip-like appendages that helps to move cells, helps in movement, and both the flagella and cilia, it has a 9+2 arrangement of microtubules. So this arrangement is refers to as 9+2 fibrillar pattern. So it is nothing but the 9 fused pairs of microtubules on the outside of cylinder and the 2 unfused microtubules in the center. So this a pattern. So it is 9. Its arrangement. It is a pattern or an arrangement which refers to 9 fused pairs of microtubules on the outside of a cylinder and the 2 unfused microtubules in the center. So which is present in some forms in flagella in prokaryotic cells, but do not have 9+2 fibrillar arrangement, but it is present in Some species they have 9+2 fibrillar structure. So we have discussed about prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and we have discussed about difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now I will show you a animation about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. We just it is an animation so that you can understand clearly what is the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes.
When we want to categorize life as we know it at a very high level, we can categorize it as either eukaryotic, or as a eukaryote, or as a prokaryote, prokaryote. And the largest distinction between a eukaryote and a prokaryote are membrane-bound structures that eukaryotes have that prokaryotes don't have, and the most noticeable of which is a membrane-bound nucleus. So in a eukaryote, the genetic information is going to be inside a membrane-bound nucleus. So this right over here, this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus, and you have your genetic information inside it. You have your DNA. Here, for a prokaryotic cell, you're going to have your DNA that might be bundled up into a section of the cell. We would call that a nucleoid, but it's not membrane bound. So let me write this down. No membrane. Let me write a little membrane bound nucleus. But that's not the only distinction between eukaryotes. When we want to categorize life as we know it at a very high level, we can categorize the nucleus. This is the nucleus, and you have your genetic information inside it. You have your DNA. Here, for a prokaryotic cell, you're going to have your DNA that might be bundled up into a section of the cell. We would call that a nucleoid, but it's not membrane bound. So let me write this down. No membrane. Let me write a little membrane bound nucleus. But that's not the only distinction between eukaryotes and prokaryotes, although it's the one that's most noted. In fact, the word eukaryote, the karyote part, comes from the Greek for nut or kernel. So let me make this clear. So this is referring to a nut, or a kernel, while prokaryote means before the nut or kernel. So we don't see, and I guess you could think of the nut or the kernel as the membrane-bound structure, especially the membrane-bound nucleus over here. But that's not all. Eukaryotes will also have other membrane-bound structures that you will not see in prokaryotes. For example, you will tend to see mitochondria. Mitochondria in a eukaryotic cell, both plant and animal cells, but you won't see it in a prokaryotic cell. And there's other types of membrane-bound structures. You could see things like a Golgi apparatus. This over here is a micrograph of a eukaryotic cell, and you see the Golgi apparatus right over here, which helps package proteins. You see a micrograph of mitochondria. This is a micrograph of the nucleus. So this right over here is the nuclear membrane, and then you see all the genetic information. It's all spread out. It's in chromatin form right over here, but you see it's especially densely packed right over here, and we've also depicted it in this right over there. So this is all the DNA in chromatin form, but this part that looks extra dense or dark in this micrograph right over there, we call that the nucleolus. We call that the nucleolus. And we now know that this is where ribosomal RNA is being produced. And ribosomal RNA, that forms part of the structure of ribosomes, which are essential in the translation, or I guess you could say the construction of proteins based on the information in mRNA. And we go into a lot more depth than that in other videos. So these are ribosomes right over here, and they're made up of ribosomal RNA, and they're also made up of proteins. And so this nucleolus over there, that's where that that's happening, that denser part of the nucleus. So the key distinction, eukaryotic cell, you have a nuclear, a membrane-bound nucleus. You have other membrane-bound structures like mitochondria. In fact, there's some theories that mitochondria first evolved as prokaryotic organisms that eventually lived in symbiosis inside of a larger eukaryotic cell. And then the other distinction is that in eukaryotes, the DNA tends to be in multiple strands. So the DNA, if you were to kind of straighten it out, it would be in multiple strands, while in a prokaryote, the DNA tends to be circular. It can be all flipped around and whatever else, but at the end of the day, it would be circular DNA. So those are the three core distinctions: nuclear membrane, other membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria and Golgi and the Golgi apparatus, and then you also have multiple single strands of DNA versus circular DNA. Other things is that eukaryotes tend to be larger, while prokaryotes tend to be smaller, and they tend to be simpler. So now that we know the key distinctions, what are examples of eukaryotes? Well, eukaryotes include most of what we interact with on a daily basis, or we think we're interacting with on a daily basis. This includes all multicellular organisms. So multicellular organisms. So I'm thinking animals, plants, fungi. It includes protists. This is a paramecium right over here. This is eukaryotic. It's going to have a membrane-bound nucleus and other organelles. This right over here, these are onion root tip cells. So these are plant cells, and you can actually see it's been stained. You can actually see the membrane-bound nucleus here. And this is actually a cool picture because you can see these cells at different stages of mitosis, which is interesting. Animal cells, the things that make you are eukaryotic. So what is prokaryotic? Well, bacteria is probably the most common example of that. Bacteria, right over here. These are prokaryotes. And lesser talk, or things, the thing that's talked about a lot less is archaea. And archaea, people initially thought that these were a form of bacteria that just lived in very extreme conditions, but now they know that it's a completely different domain of life. Archaea. And so when we think about the domains of life, the current thought is that you have bacteria here, you have archaea, and then you have eukaryotes. I'll do it there. And then you have eukaryotes. And these are things that have all of the traits that we've talked about. And so these include plants and animals and fungi and unicellular eukaryotes, like protists and things like that. And so if we, once again, just high level, we would consider these prokaryotes, and these, of course, are the eukaryotes. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of things.
So that's it, girls. This is the animation for prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So it is very important, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in WhatsApp. Thank you for listening.